On today's Witch Word of the Day, I chose El Señor Presidente. El Señor Presidente is a 1946 Spanish novel where the character of the... Oh, this word is so gross right now. President, starting in January, that's going to be a cuss word, represents political corruption. He is presented as an evil deity who is worshipped in ways that mockingly echo religious ritual. I love this, which elevates him to a mythical plane. Yet he is the source only of death. The dictator also has an element of mystery about him. It seems that no one knows where he is because he occupies several houses on the outskirts of the town. Because he's so fat and looks like a Cheeto, mystery also surrounds the questions of when and how he sleeps. In the novel, rumors abound that he sleeps beside the telephone with a whip in his hand, while others claim he never sleeps at all because he's constantly on the phone with Putin.
I wonder why we chose that word today, Sean.
I wonder why.
Well, at least he's no longer on the phone with Twitter.
You haven't even read that?
Wait, what are you doing with the book?
So he has the confidence to finish the story.
Hear now the words of the witches.
Can you hear the words of the witches? Yeah, the words of the witches.
Welcome to Words of the Witches, the Charmed podcast that will guide you through the lesser-known published lore of the Charmed universe.
In this night and in this hour, we call upon our fanboy power, bringing education and stupefaction to all of you.
Together, we will use our knowledge and reverence abundantly, but also find ourselves sassy and delightful.
Which is why we will truly be charmed.
Yes, this is Words of the Witches, episode 128. I'm Kevin, your resident Charmed resource.
I'm Sean, and I just love democracy.
And I'm Siren, and I'm on this podcast more than I'm on my own.
Beautiful. Welcome. So how have you been, Siren?
Honestly, okay. Like, I could, bitch and moan about some things in my personal life, but I've been better than a lot of my past. Today's political climate is pretty upsetting. But,
Yeah.
I've decided that I didn't run or back away from bullies when I was in 6th fucking grade, and so I'm not gonna do it now as a grown-ass man.
Boom.
Boom. Mic drop. Yeah. This is the first, episode after the crazy election-y thing, so, we're living.
How fun. How are you beautiful gay bitches doing?
Okay. Getting naked a lot, as per usual.
Yeah. Just keep that same energy up, Kevin.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
That gusto.
If anything, you should do it more. Now is when we really need this the most,
That's true, and I've got plans.
You should
Fun
do
stuff.
a naked, Kevin for president with, an Abe Lincoln hat.
That's the kind of hat that it would take.
We're so political. Speaking of polls and large polls,
you have my undivided
we had a poll
attention.
last week. Yeah. It's a common thing that happens here. Our polls touch every week.
I'm having a poll right now.
See? Do you remember what it was, Sean?
Penis.
If that was the poll, my answer is yes.
Close. It was actually which season 1 artifact. Remember? Because Prue uses the euphemism artifact. Which season 1 artifact is your favorite? And you can choose the jeweled poignard from The Waiting from Hell, Melinda Warren's pewter heart from The Witch's Back. What was the other one? We had the Magical Lantern from Wicked Envy, and then Nicholas's Ring of Immunity from that 70s episode. Siren, what's your favorite out of those?
My favorite of those artifacts, I think my favorite thing is that artifact is code for fertility god doodle. But
I know, right?
of your options, I would say Melinda's locket, because fuck that guy. You know?
Right.
These puritanical men and their backwards ass values can just get in the necklace and go on to the hereafter.
Yeah.
Ta-da. I like it.
Ta-da.
Billy Worth. All right, well, let's see how this went down. The one with the least amount of votes was the Jeweled Poignard. That stupid thing.
The episode was terrible.
But that... yeah, Sean hates it. Although I love the camp of it all because it cracks me up. But it is bad. But that is the one where they're talking about the artifact. So there we go. That got 10 votes, 7%. Then we had the Ring of Immunity, got 13% at 20 votes. The Magical Lantern was our pick. That was 26 votes at 18%. And the winner, by a lot, was the Melinda Warren's Locket, the Pewter Heart. 90 votes, 62%.
Wow.
I guessed right this time.
So, you did.
Yes, you did, you.
You go. Then Coco. Okay. And I did not go over the misquotes of last week because we had some crazy things happening and not a lot of time. So I just want to go over those quotes real quick. They have a quote here. It says, I asked if Prue would have sex other than with herself this year.
With
That's
someone
not correct.
other than herself this year. You
Thank
dumb
you.
bitch.
Thank you. So I'm like, there's words here that you're missing. Get it right. So Siren knows what's up.
Don't misquote
You dumb
Charmed in front of
bitch.
me, bitches.
Yeah.
You're talking about the actual Bible, okay?
What's this quote say? This is from Waiting from Hell. Okay. But so this is when they're doing their, you never greet your husband with, honey. Oh, well, husband at the door. With, honey, I think I froze the kids. Oh, and they add again. She doesn't say again. I missed up that one. No, I just accidentally moved them to another zip code. And then Phoebe says, it says in here, but I'll see them. But she says, I will see them. But I will see them, find them, and bring them back safely. Misquote there. And then there was one other one in Is There a Woogie in the House? What did they mess up here? Where it says Phoebe, they give me the jeebies. She's supposed to
Would
say,
that be the
earthquakes
Phoebe
give me
jeebies?
the jeebies. Yes. Would that be the Phoebe jeebies? And then they skipped, because it skipped right to Piper says, you're the only Halliwell that actually liked earthquakes. But Phoebe says, oh, you know, the comedy stylings of Prue Halliwell. So they missed that. It's like, and then she says, the only Halliwell. Piper doesn't say your, she just says,
Oh
the
my
only
God.
Halliwell that actually liked earthquakes. That's what I got. So for this episode, we're continuing our Triquetra coverage. Triquetra, the unofficial and unauthorized guide to Charmed by Keith Topping. Tee-hee-hee.
I bet it's probably unofficial and unauthorized because all the quotes are fucking wrong, Keith.
Right.
I don't know. If you're going to be out there writing books about Charmed, I feel like you should have watched it at least 236 times like me and Kevin have. Or else,
See?
are you really an expert?
So before we get into what some of this book says, what is everyone's memories of Season 2 or overall opinion on Season 2?
Sean, I want to hear from you.
I remember liking season 2. I feel like it kind of like upped the ante from season 1 because we knew the sisters a little bit more. We kind of were into their day to day, so we didn't have to like get introduced to them so much. Yeah, I remember liking season 2, but I remember liking season 3 and 4 better.
I kind of dig season 2, maybe because that's when I started watching it when I was like a teenager. So it's like the quintessential era for me. So on Witch Bitches Review, we've been working on covering season 2 for like a year and a half because we're slow as fuck. So I'm still kind of in season 2. The last one we recorded was Animal Pragmatism, which the title of our episode is just going to be Rabbit Fucker. So look forward
Beautiful,
to that.
yeah.
I dig season 2. I think it's got, I don't know, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it was one of their best budgeted seasons. So they were like going a lot of different places, experimenting with new effects. It wasn't always good, but at least they were trying to do different things all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could tell that, like, I don't know, in season 2, they're not all miserable and they don't all hate each other. So I love that vibe.
That's true. I mean, I remember at the time I was very excited because I was, oh my gosh, the new season. And I liked how it felt fresh and exciting, but also, you know, acknowledging the season before and the roots. And so it was a perfect, like, balance. I do consider this season kind of to be the most romantic season. This is like the season of love.
Season of boys.
Yeah, I mean, we get 2
damn.
Valentine's episodes for one. I don't know why we have 2, but
Right?
we have the whole like Piper love triangle thing. We have Prue getting over Andy and casually dating Jack and sleeping with Bane. We have Phoebe. She's single, but she flirts with Cupid, gets real sexy, succubus dreams, gets ghost raped.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
This is my one episode boyfriend. Happily ever after. I'm ditching him next week.
Fitting in with our word of the day, because being the source of death and El Presidente, this is also the first season where we hear the source called the source by name. He's referred to in season 1, but here he's actually referred to as the source. So that's kind of
I just watched that. It's in the Give Me a Sign episode, right? It's the first time they talk about the source.
I love that you're so on it.
I studied a little bit for this. Y'all, listen, I want you to know that I asked Kevin repeatedly for some kind of outline or guideline for this podcast, and basically he just told me to show up and care about Charmed. So that's all I've done. I don't even know how to work my freaking camera.
And for most episodes, I would have a structure, but for these ones, it's like there's no point because we don't. There's like almost so little to talk about the content we're covering. So it's mostly just like, hey, let's chill out.
Kind of too
talk about
bad.
the season. I know. We'll get back on it in the next book.
Well, I love that you're gonna like point out all the inaccurate stuff, but do you have any like interesting tidbits that maybe you learned from the book? Maybe that like I don't know.
Oh yeah. I think there'll be some fun little tidbits in here, so we'll get those in there for sure.
I'm looking forward to stealing all this from you and using it for myself.
Okay, good. I mean, yeah, you're right in the heart of the season too. So you're like, oh yeah, we did that already. I do find this season to be kind of like an odd season because it has some like incredibly deep, like engaging episodes like Morality Bites and P3H2O, which I was just on your show for. But it also has like the moments of like utter absurdity, like The Devil's Music and How to Make a Quilt Out of Americans.
Yeah. Top absurdity there.
Yeah. If it were up to our El Señor Presidente, it would be like How to Make a Confederate Flag Out of Americans or something. But
Well, he really does think morality bites. You can tell. He's
he
abandoned
does.
it.
He
Yeah.
does.
He doesn't know the meaning of the word.
I know, Sean, you don't really have notes for this. But is there anything that stood out from what you read before I get into my observations?
It's very thorough. Like I like the structure because he does give a lot of good information. I'm sure you're gonna pick it apart and tell me like it's all wrong. That's fine, but it's structured well, whether it's right or wrong. I like that he has like the quote unquote, the continuity, all the different sections. So this, I think we kind of said this last week. This is a weird book because I feel like
It's a weird book.
if you love Charmed, you already kind of know all this, and if you don't, why are you reading it? Just go watch it.
I think, I mean, it is very digestible because it is nice in sections. And I think it's a good, just like, resource book. Like, it's a good reference point if you need to find something quickly. So there's that.
Fine.
I love, one of the things I love about this is it has, like, this soundtrack. So every time it tells you what actual songs played.
Oh, cool.
And that's a really great asset to have, I think, in print.
Especially now that a lot of people are watching it without those songs. If it's streaming.
Mhm.
Is it even streaming still?
I think so. I never watch it on streaming, but that's where most people have been watching it with all the wrong music, and they get mad.
Thank God for my DVDs.
And
Thank God for that. Absolutely. So I'm going to jump right down to the logic. Let me introduce you to this window section of season 2. And I'm just going to go down the list of what I had. Just a few things. The first one is he put like how in the witch trial that Jenny was described as a great kid instead of a whiny, obnoxious brat.
Yep. I like that part. Everybody
Continuity error number 1.
So that was a little sassy, and I
that's
thought
so
it was
fun.
funny.
Oh, no, I love it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten to come for Jenny in weeks now, so that's fantastic.
Yeah. Also in that episode, the first time Nicholas appeared, they had to make the potion, grab the ingredients, and say the spell. Whereas in Witch Trial, they only said the spell. So it was a little bit cheap.
Phoenix and I had a full-blown conversation about that. About how, is Prue so powerful that she doesn't even need herbs? She can just say their names and it's like she has them or something. And then we were like, could real witches do that? Can I just throw some cinnamon in a bowl and call it mandrake and feel special? I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, especially if you're Prue, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, she can't do wrong. I mean, she can, but we still love her for it.
She did do a bad job at staying alive, so I guess she did that wrong.
Oh no.
Oh no. Is that too soon?
Oh,
I'm like- I'm just-
Shannon. I meant the
I know, I'm like,
character,
I don't wanna
not
think about it.
Shannon. I'm sorry. I didn't think.
I knew you didn't mean that. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Shannon, we
Yeah.
all love you, bitch.
Yeah. I've cried enough already. They also, in the Painted World, he talks about how like Phoebe, she has a little spell that she's writing on her piece of paper, and when Pepper comes in to interrupt her, she puts it in the middle of the book, and then when she goes to get it again, it's in the cover of the book.
Ooh, that's a good
Yep.
catch, dude. I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Dig
like,
that.
all right.
I feel like I should be
Yeah.
taking notes.
Here's a big one. This is the big one. Remember in They're Everywhere, how they say how warlocks don't bleed? That's a whole thing where they're like, he's not bleeding.
Yeah.
But Jeremy certainly bled.
Yes.
Yeah, the first episode he bled. All those rose
Yeah.
thorns, he's bleeding down his face.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure in the priest god episode, what the hell? When bad warlocks go good, stupid title.
Thank you.
Don't they do a
thank you for
spell?
saying it
Don't
right,
the evil
though.
warlock brothers? Yeah. Don't the evil warlock brothers like cut their hands as part of their gay spell? Like, bleed
Yeah,
on something. Doesn't that happen?
yeah.
And also, in the Painted World, that warlock guy gets a cut on his head and bleeds, and Prue like tries to do first aid on it.
I know. There's a lot of different points in that. Like, which is it?
That
Joe?
rule only exists in that episode.
It really did. But this is when we talked about when I was on your show about P3H2O, how it's a summer camp, but Patty died in February.
Yeah, and didn't the episode also like air in February
Yeah,
or
it was like
December
right
or January
before.
or something?
It was super. It aired in the middle of winter too. So, I mean, maybe they were there during the winter for some reason, and then. But
Is the climate
it's
that
just- it's
different
very
in
confusing.
California? Because I honestly don't know.
It's not that different. It's kind of like the same thing all year round. It gets a little chillier at nights, like right now it gets a little colder, but it's sunny during the day.
Good to know.
So not different enough that we'd be worried about swimming at summer camp in February.
Probably not. Like, it also depends on where in California you are, because, like, in February, if you're, like, in the mountains, it might be cold, but if you're down in, like, Los Angeles area, you could probably swim in February just fine.
Okay. The other thing we talked about in that episode was how Leo's powers are bullshit.
That's just the whole show.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole show, but
Like,
like,
go off,
it's like they only work when I meant to.
Basically, his powers work when we're almost out of runtime. And if we still got 20 minutes left, his powers do not work.
So that always just pisses me off.
11th hour Leo over here.
In Ms. Hellfire, this is okay. Phoebe says that she taught Prue how to French kiss in that episode. Do you remember that? And that's unbelievable on multiple levels.
Does that like mean in like a cruel intentions kind of way?
Well, I don't know about that, but
Naughty.
but the thing
Kind
about
of
like
thinking
if
about
Prue
it
was in
now.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Now, have you ever eaten pussy before?
You know, the kind of thing you do with your sisters. Oh no.
That was not another teen movie. Yeah. But yeah, it's mostly because, you know, when Prue was in high school, you know, Phoebe would have been like what? Like 13, 14, 15? Teaching a high schooler how to French kiss? That seems... And Prue was badass enough, though, no, that she would figure it out on her own, I would think.
Well,
That's
and
the
she was
weird
already
part.
fucking Andy in high school.
Yeah.
But Phoebe
So,
always had breasts and was always a boyfriend stealing slut, as you remember.
that's true.
I remember. Just like my best friend Phoenix.
Maybe she got pregnant at 12 years old and then had an abortion and called it a day.
Not
well,
in this
as is
economy,
her
not with
right
these
as an
presidents.
American. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Terrible things are happening. Okay. What else?
This is your season 2 election trauma special, everybody.
It really
Yeah.
is. It really is. And then in the finale, why didn't they call for Leo to heal Prue in the park instead of her taking her all the way to the manor and then calling for Leo?
Why did they have to drive her home? Yeah. No matter where they are, they're like, Leo! You know, and he's going to show up right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
You will
But
suffer in the back of this car.
We did
till
have
get
to
home.
pad out the runtime, so
Yep.
Maybe.
Leo's powers probably weren't meant to get to the park that day.
They only let me orb where I'm meant to orb.
We better not have Leo teleport in and have people see magic. It's okay that we just flew over here, though.
Yeah. And the whole that's what goes on with the like why didn't he heal Phoebe's foot thing, because he's like, you weren't dying even though it was a demon attack, which totally fits your rules, but okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a jerk, Leo.
Yeah. Ones. Oh, and then SWA Properties seems to be the only real estate company in California because that's all they use.
I somewhat enjoy that it gets repeated. It's just, I don't know, it's a
I do
little bit
too.
of world building, I guess. But I wish,
I mean,
this is like way down the road, but I love that Phoebe works for them for one episode, and when she rents her apartment from them in season 8, I really wish that she would have to run into that bitch again and be like, sorry I told your husband you were cheating on him.
I know. I only have 2 misquotes in this section.
Wow.
Only
That's
2.
a good day.
So, and she's a man, baby, a man. This is what they says in the book. I'm wearing clothes from the ex-boyfriend's pile. I have hair in strange places. I have a penis. This is not funny. It's not quite the flow. So, it's supposed to be, the first part's fine, but she's like, I have hair in strange places, and I have a penis. There's the and in there. And then,
Yeah.
this is so not funny, she says. This is so not funny.
Continuity,
So-
because it's hilarious.
So I feel like he like paraphrased a lot of these quotes.
Or like went off
Um,
memory or something.
Yeah, maybe. And these are, I mean, I feel stupid because there are like such minor differences, but it's enough to be like, I'm irked.
When was this book written?
This was 2005. It was, because it only covers the first 7 seasons.
You'd probably have access to like some of the DVDs by then, but maybe not like scripts
Yeah.
online and stuff.
Yeah. And the other one, what was the other one? Oh, this was in How to Make a Quotes Out of Americans. And this is another stupid one, but Prue says, there's nothing wrong with wearing glasses. I wear them. And then Phoebe says, but you're older. She doesn't say I wear them. She says I'd wear them. I apostrophe D.
Oh, okay. Slight difference, but yeah, still
Yes.
correct or incorrect.
But yes, and it does change the context of them, because it says I wear them, saying that I do wear glasses, or I'd wear them if I had to wear them. You know, so technically, her saying I'd wear them in the episode is also a blooper because she does wear them in season 1. So,
Yeah, but you're older. Well, you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Yeah. See? Thank you. Then I had some continuity things that were just fun to note. In the premiere of season 2, Piper got her dark green Jeep Cherokee, replacing her black Jeep Cherokee from season 1.
Did it really change colors?
It changed colors! Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh. In my head, it's always green. But that's not true, is it?
It's not true. Then in season 4, it was like a navy blue. It was like that cobalt blue.
Probably something she did with that life insurance money.
Right? Yeah. And it stayed blue the rest of the series after that. This is interesting. Morality Bites is the first time the term orbing was used. So even though they were orbing all around season 1, they never called it orbing until season 2 here. Isn't that crazy? I never even thought about that. We had, the first use of scrying this season.
In the Tuatha episode.
In the 12th episode, correct.
Yeah, that's a banger of an episode.
And in Animal Pragmatism, which you just covered, Prue alludes that Phoebe was conceived in a back seat.
I love that joke. Is that a continuity error?
I don't know.
We don't know.
If she was serious, if she was serious, yes, because we do know in season 8 that Phoebe was conceived.
She was born in the house.
Bed.
Oh no, but they said she was conceived in the back of a car. She could still be conceived in a car and then born in a house. But in season 8, don't we see them conceive her in the bed?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the moment. So that's what goes against it. Season 8 totally changes that.
I always thought that was like a... I always thought it was like a Shannon Doherty ad-libbed line, because it was kind of funny. And, I don't know, it didn't sound like something the writers would do. It sounded like something she would say.
I think so, too. And I agree with that. So I think if we go by that, she's teasing around, I'll take it.
I always felt like it was a joke she made, and they were like, that's funny, let's keep it.
And then this is, in part of my past, is the first time that Brian Krause becomes a regular. And that's why it's funny, because he said in something, an interview, or like on a, I think, or maybe it was on his podcast, like, I became a regular in season 3. I'm like, no, actually it was season 2. You don't know, but it's season 2.
Fact check yourself, Brian.
I know. Here's some other tidbits. Did you know Richard Grieco was supposed to play Bane?
Who is that?
But I don't know. I Googled him. I guess he's some...
I'm going to Google him.
He was like... Yeah, Google him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he does have a similar
he's
look.
59 years old now. Oh, yeah, no. He was cute. Look at him.
He was cute.
I can dig it. Do you think he's a Trumper?
Oh, yeah, like Antonio.
Like Antonio in?
Oh.
I'm Googling Richard Grieco Trump right now. No information.
No information, dang. But Shannon strongly objected to him being cast. She's like, no, I don't want him. And then Holly and Alyssa supported her on this. Like, if she doesn't want him, we don't want him either. So I don't know why that was. Sticking with our political theme, Reckless Abandon got very high TV ratings. You probably talked about this on your show, Siren, how high the ratings were.
I don't know that, actually.
Oh, yeah, there were super high ratings, but it's deceptive because most major networks at the time were airing Clinton's final State of the Union address, and so Charmed was the less boring option.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What a time,
Bill Clinton burned from the past.
Oh, and I feel so stupid for never realizing this. Young Christina Lawson was DeVay Chase.
And who is that?
Samara from The Ring, Lilo, the voice of Lilo from
real?
Lilo and Stitch. Yes!
She's fucking Samara. I love that bitch.
Yeah.
Samara's one of my favorite little beasties.
Uh-huh. I was like, oh my gosh, I never even put those two together.
What's her name?
DeVay Chase.
Well, that's just impossible to spell. It's pretty bitchin'. That's a fun fact, Kevin.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. And then I just have put that in my canonical hat.
Canonical.
I have a few other canonical errors besides the misquotes. Keith kept claiming the past lives of the sisters matched their first name, so he was saying, evil Phoebe, or past life Phoebe was Phoebe Russell, and it was Prue Bowen and Piper Baxter. I'm like, no. They didn't have the same names.
That could be head canon, but that's not canon.
No. I mean, in the episode, they only give you the P initial.
Yeah.
But they did originally have names that they just cut them. And then he lists Alec Led as film geek in Chick Flick. Now, Alec Led does go by that stage name, but his actual name is Alec Led. He was also in Little Monsters in season 6, and he is Alyssa Milano's like best friend.
Who is he in Little Monsters?
He's like somebody from the Bay Mirror. He's like a worker in the Bay Mirror. Yeah.
Okay. Blocked out Phoebe's work drama from that episode.
Yeah. I met Alec a couple times because he's always hanging out with her. Like, he's always like her handler at the conventions when she does appearances. And when I went to go see her perform in Chicago in New York, he's who I gave my musical script to because she was busy signing play programs and playbills. I'm like, she's gonna have her hands full, so I'm like, can you give her this? So I handed Ala the musical script and to give to her. So
That's very
I feel
cool.
like with that name and being best friends with her and not wanting to fuck her brains out, he's got to be queer. He's got to be.
Automatic homo.
I don't even know. I never even thought about that. I don't know. I know he does have a podcast of his own. And he's done little things too. He was in Can't Hardly Wait, and he had a bunch of bit parts in other little shows. But yeah, he's doing good.
Sean, would you bang Alyssa Milano's best friend in order to meet her?
Yeah, I think she'd be fun to be
Me
friends
too.
with. I think she'd be like equal parts like interesting and messy. So like, yeah, I'm here for it.
Weird. I agree with that.
All right, and that's all I got. That's all the book stuff.
Boom.
I have a question. Actually,
Yes.
I have several questions.
Okay.
But my first question is, was there anything in the book that you found interesting about like any of the special effects?
No, he doesn't have a section for special effects in this book.
No.
I know.
That's kind of a
think the
bummer.
book of-
Just because for me,
Yeah.
that's one of the main appeals of the show. Or at least, the special effects have aged, obviously. But like when I was first watching
What?
it, like that was big appeal. So I find that kind of disappointing.
I think at this point in the show, they were still using the light bulb under the hands for healing.
I don't think
So-
that ever goes
and I-
away.
Right. Well, I think in season 8 they started doing more CG stuff. At least the last season they were doing more CG.
Mm.
But yeah, I remember hearing like stories about how like they had to be careful not to burn their hands if the light bulb got too hot.
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
High tech.
And I've seen like shots of like when they were doing the orbiting where it's like they're like, okay, react, and then like they walk away. It's like a typical stuff that you would do on your home video camera. Okay, get out of the shot. We'll film some more. So that's always fun. I've seen like I remember what was it in Brain Drain? They had Rose like on the stairs with her laundry basket, and she's like, "Okay, I'm going back up the stairs, leaving. Don't film me." The fake fucking stairs, Sean.
Fucking stairs.
Sean's mind was blown when he found out that there's no actual like floor up there.
The stairs don't go anywhere.
They just
Yeah.
walk up to nothing, and then we're supposed to believe they're upstairs. Fuck you.
I watched some
is
kind of
next door.
behind the scenes video one time where they show you the layout of their fake house set and how it's all just one floor,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
it's very weird to see.
It's been a while now, but I did have that episode with Nicholas, who visited the set during season 7 when he was 13 years old, and he took pictures of the set and he talked about his experience there. And that's a really fun episode. And he sent all these behind the scenes pictures of all those stages,
Wow.
and stages, and so that was a really fun time to hear.
Jealous. Oh, if my 13-year-old self could go see the Charmed set.
Yeah,
Shit.
it was hearing his experiences was like, oh, so cool.
Yeah.
All right, sorry,
Right.
you got some questions. Let's hear them.
I do. Sean, I have some questions. I want to hear all your answers.
All right.
So mostly this is, I just have a lot of like fave and least favorite kind of stuff. For all of season 2, favorite demon.
I feel like it'd probably be Abraxas. But I don't remember a lot about Abraxas except for the name.
Horny
I don't
demon in the
remember
attic.
demons in
Solid
season
choice.
There you go. Oh yeah,
I mean-
and Abraxas is the one that brought all the undid all the Vanquishes they did in season 1, right?
He unvanquished. Yeah. And he
I
was always
remember I
back
was-
at the manor.
Yeah. I remember I was so excited by that. I was like, this season's going to be so cool. He undid everything and they're going to have to fix it. And then they fixed it all in one episode. That was my only
Yeah.
problem with most episodes. I'm like,
As they
I want
do.
continuity.
I would say, I mean, Barbas is in there too, but that's a cheat. That's kind of a cheat. I'm going to say the succubus because
Ooh, that's
sexy,
also a good
and
choice.
yeah,
I want to say the water demon, just because it was really new and different. And it wasn't just like a person in a leather daddy costume. So I think the water demon was cool.
I do like that one a lot too. That's good. Yeah.
Sean, do you have a least favorite demon?
It would be... Kevin already knows what I'm going to say. Hecate.
That's season 1.
Season 2, though.
Oh, season 1?
But
Season
also
2.
solid
Oh.
choice. She could be a worst overall.
Right.
Yeah. I don't remember who's in season 2. I don't know Charm like you people do.
It's on the spot, and you have to be careful too because it's like demon, but there's
Maybe I should
warlocks,
have said
there's
villain.
other things besides demon. Oh, it's just villain. Okay.
We could say villain.
Least favorite. I'm gonna say. What was it? Famine. Which was the most boring of the 4 horsemen?
He was.
One
I
of them was
think
really
it was
boring.
Famine who was really dry and
Yeah.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Kermit, the Dementor. What's his name?
Oh, Maslin.
Maslin. Yeah, the Muppet who eats groupies. They also tried to be new and different with that, but man, it did not work. I hate that guy. He looks so bad.
Yeah. Oh, how rapey that episode is.
It really was. It really was. It
Yeah.
was pretty gross.
Yeah.
Here,
And
I
Jenny was like a
Googled,
big part of it. We don't like her.
I googled Charm season 2 villain, and it brought up Dark Harry. I'm gonna say Dark Harry.
What's that?
Oh wait, that's the better Charmed reboot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know these words.
Love it. I'm gonna lock in your answer there, Sean. I love it.
Okay.
The other thing I want to know about, I have a long list still, but the thing I definitely want to know about is best and worst boyfriends of the season.
Ooh.
Let's go with best first. Who's the best boyfriend?
I'm gonna say. I mean, I love Dan. I'm gonna say Dan.
Yeah. I think I also want to say Dan. I'm a Dan stan.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I really like Dan, but I like Leo better for Piper. I think Dan would have been better for Prue.
Interesting. Because he's also like solid and grounded and stuff.
Yeah, I think like he would have handled her well, like her crazy. Like he would have been her anchor, and I think he would have eventually like she would have banged him into submission of like, you're going to accept that I'm a witch, bitch, and let's just move on.
I like that.
Maybe.
And they were
the
pretty-
neighbor thing would have made it harder for him to blow him off like she does every other guy.
True.
They were pretty flirty when she was a man, though. Maybe they'd be great gay lovers.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
Dan and Manny. I ship it. I ship
Dan
it.
and Manny. There you go.
Oh, there's that poll.
That's who the best boyfriend was. The best boyfriend was Manny.
There you
Manny.
go.
Worst boyfriend. I will take the lead with worst boyfriend.
Oh.
Worst boyfriend is Bane. Hands down. Hate it. Hate it. I mean, he's
pretty bad.
gorgeous. Like, he's hot, and he's bringing all his he's bringing all his underwear modeling skills to his acting. And that's fine. But that character is terrible. I fucked the guy who just kidnapped me and also tried to kill me 2 weeks ago, and also he killed 11 people that day.
Bane is a good choice. I don't like Jack so much. Like, I think he's a great worker. Well, he's not always the most moral worker, but he is a hard worker because he does Prue's job a lot of the time.
He does do her job for her.
Yeah.
I need a boyfriend like that.
Yeah. So I guess he's I don't know. He's not sustainable. A little bit swarmy. But I don't know.
I actually thought he was good for her because Prue's also a little morally questionable, whether she
That's
loves
true.
to admit it or not. And Jack made her have fun.
That's true. That's true.
But he's also a tool.
Yeah.
Sean, you probably don't get this question a lot, but are there any men in season 2 that you hated?
I don't think so. I mean, you made some good points about Bane Jessup. Jenny was annoying, that little guy. But yeah, besides that,
Jenny is the worst boyfriend. Yep.
Oh, Kyle. If you're gonna go with Jenny's little boyfriend's
yeah.
romantic interest, Kyle.
Oh, okay. If we count Kyle as a boyfriend, then
about
he is
Kyle.
the worst boyfriend. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my questions was going to be best and worst innocent. I think Kyle can be a unanimously
Yeah.
worst innocent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bottom of the barrel. What do you guys think is the most heinous thing they did the whole season? Doesn't have to be a whole
Heinous
episode, but just like
thing.
what thing did you... Yeah, the most heinous thing. What did you hate the most?
Oh my gosh! If you ask me this in season 6, I can give you a list. But this one, let's see. I mean, Maslin is a good option.
It's kind of rude to harp on it, but even though I wanted to come up with a different answer, I think the most heinous thing they did was Jenny.
Is what?
Jenny. It's
Oh, Jenny.
just the worst.
I mean,
Putting her
really.
in the opening credits without a plan. It's the without a plan
Yeah.
thing. Because you
They're
know
like,
there's
we're
no
gonna-
plan.
There was no plan. They're like, this is gonna get our younger audience in, and then they're like, wait, we fucked up. Let's get her off the show. She's only in
I
4
was
episodes.
sort of thinking, yeah, I was kind of thinking, do you think they wrote Kyle in to give Jenny something to do? Is that why he's also so bad?
Maybe. I think that wasn't that was the both of the last episode. No, was it the last episode? I think that was the last
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, we tried to bring him in and they both suck and this isn't working.
Terrible. If only we'd gotten that teen romance for the rest of season 2.
Yeah.
No.
That would be our activity. I was going to do a quiz, but I think that's a good activity that we did instead.
Oh, no, I ruined the quiz.
No, this is better.
You can quiz me
so-
in private later if you'd like.
The poll this week, the P is for poll.
Piper. You mean it's just you and Prue, huh?
Phoebe? Phoebe, you there?
And a big hello to you too, Penny.
Come on, Patty. The rest is up to them.
Paige. My name is Paige.
Another P, imagine that.
P is for poll.
We kind of talked about it already. Are you, for Piper, Team Leo or Team Dan? Well, we know Sean's answer.
Leo.
Team Greg the fireman, I think.
Oh, Greg the fireman.
Team Greg the fireman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was very much Team Leo. And now I'm thinking about, like, am I more Team Dan? Like, I do like Dan better. I feel like he would have been killed pretty early on, though, if they did get together. I think he would have died.
Don't you know that he did get killed?
Oh.
Are you aware of this? Are you aware of
No.
this is official canon of Dan getting killed?
No.
It is, this is something they did in the season 7 finale, and I think it was a fun callback, because they couldn't get him back on the show and they thought it was their last episode, but, what's her name? Woman agent dies in season 7.
I do remember this.
What's her name?
The woman agent, Sheridan?
Agent Sheridan, yes. Agent Sheridan has
Yeah.
some files on people who've died or disappeared, and she has one with Dan Gordon's name on it. It's a quick shot.
Oh.
And they don't say anything about it, but it is in the show that she has a file on Dan, who is dead and missing.
I do remember that. I thought she was just picking up files of people that had information, like they were involved. I didn't realize they were just dead people. I thought they were just like, these are people that were involved closely with them. Because
they definitely killed Dan.
Because he was supposed to come back for season 8, Greg Vaughn.
But then instead they got the guy who played Greg in season 6 to come back. Yeah.
Right.
Pointless.
Because, I mean, if he came back in season 8, that would have been much more drama.
If he had come back in season 8, that would have been fucking incredible. It would have made it somewhat good.
It would have been so good. Yeah. So I think I'm probably still Team Leo in the end, but I would have fought for Team Dan more in this timeline. So
I'm going to say Team Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just to be different.
Because
right.
I want to lick his armpits through his gray tank top, Sean. That is why I am Team Dan.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he's so hot now. He's so much hotter than he even was.
Doesn't he suck now too, though? I swear.
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like everybody
maybe.
sucks now. I'm gonna look it up. What am I mad at Greg Vaughn for? I forget.
He was really nice to me when I met him. I want to meet him again.
I don't know. I'm just being stupid.
It comes naturally to you.
It does, girlfriend.
That's all I got. This book is so weird. It's so hard to like figure out what we're doing. It's so off the rails, but it's fun. Season 2. So I guess we did it. Siren,
we did.
Where can we
something?
We did something. We talked.
Yeah.
Siren, where can people listen to your stuff and follow your stuff?
Well, hey, friends. I'm still doing Witch Bitches Review with my fabulous co-host, Phoenix. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, and you can follow us on social media at WBRcast. We're also talking about Charmed. We're both actual witches, and we like to talk about how the TV witchcraft matches up to witchcraft practiced by real people. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do when you cover Agatha all along, because I know that's on the horizon, so... Ooh.
Guess what? We've actually stopped working on Charmed, and that's the next thing we're doing. So, soon. We are recording the first one next week.
Perfect. How exciting.
Yes, and I'm very excited to talk about Agatha all along. I cannot wait. I am obsessed. I think it's fair enough to say I'm obsessed.
Yes. Sean, where can we follow you?
You can follow me on
Please say
Sean
OnlyFans.
Pratt on OnlyFans, on Instagram, on TikTok. So I'm not really on OnlyFans for all those who just got very excited. My poll!
Damn it.
You can find anything about our projects on my Instagram through our links. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Cool. You can follow me on my personal Instagram, KJEEZY87, or this podcast at Words of the Witches, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Words of Witches on the stupid Twitter place, and I do have OnlyFans. I will not give the link here, but it's there. If you follow my other Instagram, you can find it. Yeah, so we'll see you next week for season 3 stuff.
Thanks for having me on, babes.
Yeah. And thanks for being here. Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, so see you in the ether again. Everybody, spell worders. Your destiny still awaits.
Bye, friends.